Well, hello everyone. I'm here with my dear wife in Bangkok, Thailand. And there's some questions that have been coming in, and I felt that at 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is right now, I just shouldn't wait to answer them. They're important questions, and this will be kind of long video, maybe not more than 5 or 6 minutes. But anyway, I'll try to make it fast. So, when I think of my brother-in-law, Arthur, he was building, I think, an 80-foot building warehouse, one a week. He's built banks, churches. He's built a lot of big buildings and is working with a budget that is provided by the developer. He's the general contractor with numerous licensing and stuff. I don't want people to misunderstand. I can work on, and I have at least, 20, 30, 40, I had around 58 projects going on at one time. And when I say projects, they're, for example, the boat, mission boat, building that's a project. The Hawaii place is a project. Ohio, different countries, different places, buildings, things that I'm building. It could be the trailer project that I'm working on, or the RV, the motorhome, the bus. But I wanted to answer some of your questions. I'm not a big developer with a lot of budget. These are mission efforts, right, Sweetie Pie? These are mission efforts, and I guess you can say this, that if one person is saved in God's kingdom because of effort that we have put out, that's a big deal, and that's a huge blessing. The Hawaii place. Someone from Australia, dear friend of mine, has asked me numerous questions about Hawaii, and I've answered some of them, and how is it going to continue when I'm gone. Oops, sorry about that, my finger got in the way. And I've shared how God blesses and how things just move forward even when I'm not there, but I can communicate and delegate. Alan Douglas, I was hesitant to say his name, but he passed away. What? It's okay.
Just
Yawning, and we're tired, and we're half awake, but it's okay. He met a woman, they had a family, things didn't work out, met a second woman while he was from Australia in the Philippines, and it did work out, had another family, and he was in his late 70s. He jumped on the back of my motorcycle, and we cruised around the island of Biliran, and I really fell in love with this guy and his family, his wife and children, and they became near and dear to my heart. And he explained to me how, his love for his family kept him from going back to Australia. And I've met other people, another person, their family, believed Jesus was coming soon and left to the Philippines and left their house here in the United States. Not here, I'm in Thailand, I forget where I'm at. And left their home, and taxes developed, and they lost it, of course. Sometimes our activities in these countries we get so involved, and it becomes like if we have kids and grandchildren. Alan had kids and grandchildren from both marriages, and he didn't have his pension, he didn't have retirement, and he was working in his late 70s to make $5 to $10 a day to support all his kids, and he worked it, smiled, and my respect for that man is very high, as high as you can go. Not perfect man, I'm sure, but he was a faithful man and father and husband, and did his very best under the circumstances. I helped him set up a Skype account, which got him in touch with, and kept putting money on it so that he could communicate with consulates there in Australia, and he was able to get back to Australia after almost 30 years and get his family there. But I want to just talk about real quick how painfully difficult and stressful it is, and you need to understand this, sweetheart. When you're in a third world country that's not your own, and you lose your roots in America, if you lose, like Alan had family, he contacted his sister said something like, well, you got yourself there, you can get yourself back. Sometimes our families don't agree with what we're doing and don't understand, and they just don't. They get older and sometimes die. And one of my American friends, he had his mother, but his mother passed away, and so he came to the funeral in America and went back. A lot of men and different people have pensions. They're expats. I don't have that. So bottom line, I'm in Philippines. I got dengue fever, almost died. It was horrible. I've gotten malaria several times. I got the measles from Philippines, but ended up with it in America. It has become very necessary to develop a place in the United States for missionary laborers like myself. And my best friend, James, I won't even put his last name, he's just a very special guy. When our boat sunk, the mission boat, headed to, our effort and our idea was to go to the Philippines, go to Asia, to be able to go all over Thailand. Are you awake? We just turned the lights on. We've got to get this out. I don't know. Just think about it. You're sick. You're in a third world country. You don't have budget. People aren't supporting you. You're living off of the work you can do there, $10 a day or $5 a day. And you get sick because you're not getting enough vitamins and stuff. And this has happened to me over the last 20 years, more than I can tell you. And then you figure out a way, some kind person, or you just were able to sell something or figure out through your American connections. Or what I do is sell something in the Philippines that I have, for example, a motorcycle, or use credit, which I've done numerous times, to get back to America. Where do you go in America? Market crash happened, and while I was here in Asia, being investigated during the riot type, it was kind of like they had martial law, and it was in an election time, and there was a big Mindanao massacre, and I got held, so I couldn't leave the country for a year. I ended up losing my homes and assets in the U.S. It was the market crash of 2008, plus the holding of I was blacklisted for investigation. I mean, for nothing I did, just long story. I could write a book about that. That's when I met this sweet woman on the bus. Hello. She's falling asleep, aren't you? Are you falling asleep on me? I'm making this video. So David, my friend in Australia, this property, when the boat sunk, when I was headed to Asia outside of Hawaii, we were rescued by Coast Guard. I didn't want to leave Hawaii until something good happened, and I realized the weather's perfect, taxes are low. Our residence there, the Bay Area, taxes are about $1,000 a month. The taxes in Hawaii are about $200 a year. No utility bills, because the rain comes down every year and fills your supply. Gravity flow. You don't need electricity between the solar, charges everything, plenty of solar. About 60% of the time is sunny and 30% of the time is raining. It became necessary to provide a place where the temperature is 75 all the time, perfect temperature, never gets too cold, never gets too hot. Kind of gets chilly a little bit, but you just put a jacket on, where you can go and recover. When you're a missionary, I'll just end with this. You don't have the timeshares and the vacation packages and all of those things. You don't have the ability to go and refresh and recharge, and you get worn out. You really spend your reserves of energy, and you can go to sleep, sweetie pie. Isn't she beautiful when she's sleeping? You can just really get burnt out, and a lot of people die. My friend Jay died at 50. He was a full-time missionary. Many of my missionary friends have died, and I know why they've died, because they didn't have the support they needed from the U.S., and they didn't have a place to go. I'm really worried about a number of my friends in the Philippines right now, and so that are Americans, and I know they're really getting involved with their little mission project, and it's hard to leave. And so this place is not only for my buddy James, who paid for it and is going to retire there in about 8 years and build himself a little cabin and live there, but I would like to have it as a place where I can go and my mother can go, and extend it to other close friends and family who are dedicating their lives to serving the Lord. You know, if you don't work for the Lord, if your interest is in your animals, and I need to be careful on how I say this, but if you just have an interest in yourself and bettering your life, then it's better for you to just use your own money or get money somewhere and do this at a different place. But if you've given your entire all to the Lord, and you are a close friend of our family, this, I don't talk about where this is at. It's very exclusive. And, you know, this first cabin that we're building is for the older people in our family. And I want to extend this. There are a number of people who I have seen who have dedicated their life works to serving the Lord, and they need a place to go and recover. It's all you will see. Just imagine you're there here in Hawaii. Just imagine it for a minute. You're in Hawaii, you're at the place, and all you hear is birds, frogs, sounds of little critters, and you're drinking raw juices, eating papayas, eating seeds of the papayas, which are good for the parasites, and you're having smoothies, and you're just there with nothing to do except reflect, think, contemplate your actions, talk to the Lord, read, and so that's it. If you're interested in that, then contact me. We're not doing a homeless ministry at this place. This is a place where we retreat to. And Moses retreated to the mountain. Elijah went to the mountain. There's so many people in the Bible that went into the mountain to see the Lord and to regain their strength so that they could go out and be a blessing. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.